Before you scroll away, pause, not for me, for you, because maybe, just maybe, this is the moment your soul has been quietly waiting for. Every morning the world wakes up in noise, alarms, deadlines, notifications, but your soul, it longs for something quieter, something deeper, a whisper of peace, a breath of grace, a moment to remember that healing doesn't always come in thunder, it often arrives in silence. This video isn't just another prayer, it's a sanctuary, a place where your heart can exhale, where your wounds aren't judged, but gently held, where you're not asked to be strong, you're simply invited to be real. You'll hear words that don't just speak to your ears, but to the ache behind your smile. You'll feel a presence that doesn't demand perfection, but offers comfort, and you'll be reminded that even in your most fragile state, you are not forgotten. You are not alone. Whether you're waking up from a restless night, carrying the weight of yesterday, or just searching for a reason to believe, again, this is for you. Let this be your sunrise, not just outside your window, but inside your spirit. Let this prayer wrap around you like morning light, soft, warm, and healing. So take a breath, let go of the rush, and lean in, because healing begins. Not when the world changes, but when your heart is finally allowed to feel. Welcome to your moment. Welcome to your soul's sunrise. Waking up with peace. Not every morning feels like a beginning. Sometimes the sun rises, but your heart doesn't. You open your eyes, yet the weight of yesterday still lingers, pressing against your chest like a quiet ache. The world outside moves forward, birds sing, light spills through the window, but inside, something feels stuck. If today feels like one of those mornings, then this moment is for you. Before the rush, before the noise, before the expectations, just breathe. Not because you're supposed to, not because it's part of a routine, but because your breath is sacred. It's the softest proof that you're still here, still alive, still held by something greater than the chaos around you. The world may be spinning fast, but your soul doesn't move at that pace. It moves slowly, gently, like a river winding through quiet valleys. And this morning, your soul is asking for something different. Not productivity, not performance, but presence. Let this be your invitation to return to yourself, to the quiet corners inside you that haven't been visited in a while, to the questions you've tucked away, to the ache you've learned to silence. You don't need to be perfect to show up. You just need to be honest. If you're tired, say so. If you're hurting, admit it. If you're unsure, let that be okay. Healing doesn't begin with answers, it begins with truth, so whisper it. If you must, God, I'm tired, I'm not okay, I need you. Let that be enough. Let the light of this new day seep into the broken corners. Let it touch the places you've been afraid to face. You don't need clarity right now, you just need presence. You need to know you're not alone. Waking up isn't just physical, it's spiritual. It's choosing to feel again, to believe again, to live again. And that choice doesn't have to be loud. It can be a whisper, a sigh, a tear that falls without explanation. Let it fall. Let it speak. Let it be part of your healing. There's a kind of strength and softness in letting yourself cry, in letting yourself feel. Tears are not weakness. They are release. They are the soul's way of saying, I'm still here. I still care. So if you feel the tears rising, don't push them down. Don't apologize for them. Let them come. Let them cleanse. Let them carry away what words cannot. You don't have to explain your pain to be worthy of healing. You just have to feel it. You don't have to reinvent yourself today. You don't have to fix everything. You don't have to be better, stronger, happier. You just have to be. Let today be a soft beginning, a gentle unfolding, a quiet return to what matters. Drink water, stretch your body, speak kindly to yourself, not because you're trying to become someone else, but because you're learning to love who you already are. If you're reading this, it means you're searching for peace, for clarity, for something that feels like home. And I want you to know, you're not alone in that search. There is a presence that walks with you, even when you feel abandoned, even when you doubt, even when you don't know how to pray. You are seen, you are known, you are loved, not for what you do, not for how well you hide your pain, but simply because you exist. There's a light inside you that no darkness can extinguish. It may flicker, it may dim, but it never goes out. This morning, let that light rise not in fireworks, not in fanfare, but in quiet courage. The courage to show up, to breathe, to feel, to begin again. Let this be your sunrise, not just outside your window, but inside your soul. You don't have to earn rest. You don't have to deserve peace. You don't have to prove your worth. You are already enough, already loved, already held. So take this morning slowly, let it be soft, let it be sacred, and know that in this quiet space, you are healing. Healing the wounds we hide there, our wounds we speak about, openly scrapes, heartbreaks, disappointments, and then there are the quiet ones, the ones we tuck beneath our smiles, the ones we carry in silence, hoping no one notices. These wounds don't bleed, but they ache. They don't scream, but they whisper in the stillness. They live in the pauses between conversations, in the moments when we're alone with our thoughts, in the spaces where we pretend we're fine. This part of your journey is not about fixing, it's about facing. It's about gently turning toward the places you've been avoiding and saying, I see you, I'm ready now. Healing doesn't begin with a solution, it begins with permission. Permission to feel, permission to remember, permission to be tender with yourself. You don't have to be brave in the way the world defines it. You don't have to charge forward or hold it all together. Sometimes, the bravest thing you can do is sit still with your pain and let it speak. Let it tell you what it needs. Let it unravel without judgment. Because pain, when listened to, becomes a teacher. And healing, when welcomed, becomes a companion. The weight of unspoken hurt. We all carry stories we've never told. Moments that shaped us, broke us, changed us. Maybe it was something someone said or didn't say. Maybe it was a betrayal, a loss, a silence that lasted too long. Maybe it was the absence of love when you needed it most. These moments don't disappear. They settle into the body, into the soul, waiting for acknowledgement. You don't have to relive them all at once. You don't have to explain them to anyone, but you do deserve to honor them. To say, that hurt me. To say, I'm still healing. To say, I'm allowed to feel this. There is no expiration date on grief, no timeline for recovery. Healing is not linear, it's layered. It circles back, it deepens, it softens. And every time you choose to face it, you grow stronger, not harder. The sacredness of feeling. We live in a culture that rushes pain, that tells us to move on, stay positive, be strong. But strength isn't the absence of emotion. It's the courage to feel it fully, to let the tears fall, to let the anger rise, to let the sadness sit beside you without shame. You are allowed to feel deeply. You are allowed to be messy. You are allowed to not have it all figured out. There's a sacredness in feeling, in letting your heart break open so it can be rebuilt, in letting your soul speak in sobs and sighs, in letting yourself be human. So if today you feel heavy, let it be. If today you feel raw, honor it. If today you feel like you're unraveling, know that sometimes unraveling is the first step toward becoming whole. A prayer for the wounded places. God, I bring you the parts of me I've hidden, the places I've locked away, the memories I've buried, the pain I've tried to forget. I don't know how to heal them. I don't even know how to name them, but I know you see them. I know you care. So I offer them to you, not polished, not packaged, just as they are, raw, real, aching. Touch them with your grace, hold them with your mercy, heal them with your love. The gentle work of restoration. Healing isn't loud. It doesn't always come with breakthroughs or revelations. Sometimes it's quiet, subtle, like a soft rain soaking into dry soil, like a whisper that says, you're okay, you're safe now. Restoration is not about returning to who you were. It's about becoming who you're meant to be. It's about gathering the broken pieces and letting them form something new, something stronger, something softer, something sacred. You don't have to rush this process. You don't have to force it. Just keep showing up. Keep breathing. Keep trusting that even when you can't see it, healing is happening. The beauty of brokenness. There's a strange beauty in brokenness. Not because pain is beautiful, but because what it reveals is, it reveals your resilience, your tenderness, your capacity to love even after loss, your ability to rise even after falling. You are not broken beyond repair. You are not too far gone. You are not too damaged to be loved. You are a mosaic of every moment you've survived, every tear you've shed, every prayer you've whispered in the dark. And that mosaic is breathtaking. So don't hide your cracks. Don't cover your scars. Let them tell your story. Let them shine with grace. Let them remind you on the world that healing is real. The power of naming. There's power in naming what hurts, in saying it out loud, in writing it down, in whispering it to someone you trust. When you name your pain, you take back your voice, you reclaim your story. You stop being a victim to silence, so name it. Name the loneliness, name the betrayal, name the fear, name the longing. Not to dwell in it, but to release it. To say, this is part of me, but it doesn't define me. You are more than what happened to you. You are more than what you lost. You are more than what you carry. And every time you name your pain, you make space for healing to enter. A reminder for the journey. Healing is not a destination, it's a journey, a rhythm, a dance between pain and peace, between remembering and releasing, between holding on and letting go. Some days you'll feel strong, other days you'll feel shattered. Both are holy, both are part of the process, so be gentle with yourself, speak kindly, rest often, celebrate the small victories, honor the setbacks, trust the timing. You are doing sacred work, you are tending to your soul, you are becoming whole. You are worthy of healing. You don't have to earn healing. You don't have to prove your worth. You don't have to be perfect to be restored. You are worthy simply because you exist, worthy of love, worthy of peace, worthy of softness, worthy of starting again. Let that truth sink in. Let it settle into your bones. Let it rewrite the lies you've believed. Let it become the foundation you build your life on. You are worthy, always, already, forever. A new light rising as this part of your journey unfolds. May you begin to feel the light returning, not all at once, not in blinding brilliance, but slowly, gently, like dawn breaking after a long night. May you feel warmth where there was cold. May you feel clarity where there was confusion. May you feel hope where there was despair. And may you know, deep in your soul, that healing is not just possible, it's promised. You are not alone. You are not forgotten. You are not too far gone. You are healing, you are rising, you are becoming. A prayer of faith and surrender. There comes a moment in every soul's journey when the questions grow louder than the answers, when the weight of uncertainty presses against your chest, and faith feels like a fragile thread you're barely holding on to. You've tried to be strong, you've tried to stay hopeful, you've whispered prayers in the dark, wondering if anyone was listening. And maybe, just maybe, you've reached the edge of yourself. This part of your journey isn't about knowing, it's about trusting. It's about standing in the middle of the unknown and choosing to believe anyway. Not because everything makes sense, but because something inside you still whispers, keep going. Faith isn't a feeling, it's a decision. A quiet, sacred choice to surrender what you can't control and lean into what you can't see. It's not about certainty, it's about courage. The courage to say, even here, even now, I will trust. When faith feels fragile, there are days when faith feels easy, when the sun is shining, the path is clear, and everything seems to fall into place. But then there are days when faith feels like a fight, when you're tired, when the silence is deafening, when the prayers feel unanswered. And on those days, it's okay to admit it. It's okay to say, I'm struggling. It's okay to say, I don't know, because faith isn't about pretending. It's about showing up with your whole heart, even the broken parts. You don't have to have perfect faith to be held by perfect love. You don't have to be fearless to be carried. You just have to be willing to open your hands, willing to let go, willing to say, God, I don't understand, but I'm still here. A prayer of surrender. God, I've tried to carry this on my own. I've tried to fix it, control it, understand it, but I'm tired, and I'm ready to let go. I surrender the outcome. I surrender the timeline. I surrender the fear. I place it all in your hands, the questions, the pain, the hope, the longing. I don't know what tomorrow holds, but I know you hold me, so I choose trust, not because it's easy, but because it's holy. The beauty of letting go isn't weakness, it's wisdom. It's the moment you stop gripping so tightly and allow grace to flow freely. It's the moment you stop striving and start receiving. It's the moment you realize that surrender isn't giving up, it's giving in to something greater. You were never meant to carry it all. You were never meant to figure it all out. You were meant to walk with faith, to breathe with trust, to live with open hands. So let go. Let go of the need to know. Let go of the pressure to perform. Let go of the fear that says you're not enough. And in that letting go, you'll find peace, not because everything is fixed, but because your heart is finally free. Trusting in the unseen. Faith is not about seeing, it's about believing. It's about trusting that even when the road disappears, the journey continues. It's about knowing that even when you feel alone, you are never abandoned. There is a presence that walks beside you, a love that holds you, a grace that goes before you. You may not see the way, but you are being led. You may not hear the answer, but you are being heard. You may not feel strong, but you are being strengthened. Faith is the quiet confidence that whispers, I am not alone, even here, even now, even in this. When the waiting feels long, waiting is one of the hardest parts of faith. It stretches you, it tests you, it asks you to trust without proof, to believe without clarity, to hope without guarantees. And yet, the waiting is sacred. It's where roots grow deep. It's where character is formed. It's where intimacy with God is forged. So if you're in a season of waiting, know this: you are not forgotten. You are not overlooked. You are not being punished. You are being prepared. You are being refined. You are being loved, even in the silence, even in the stillness, even in the not yet. A prayer for the waiting God. I don't know how long this will last. I don't know when the breakthrough will come. I don't know what you're doing behind the scenes, but I choose to wait with hope. I choose to wait with trust. I choose to wait with open hands. Teach me to be still. Teach me to be patient. Teach me to believe that your timing is perfect, even when mine feels desperate. The strength of surrendered faith. There's a quiet strength in surrendered faith. It doesn't shout. It doesn't demand. It simply rests. It leans. It trusts. This kind of faith isn't flashy. It's not always visible, but it's powerful. It's the kind of faith that moves mountains, not because of its size, but because of its source. You don't need giant faith. You just need real faith. Honest faith. Faith that says, I'm scared, but I'm still choosing you. That's the kind of faith that heals, that restores, that transforms. You are not alone in your faith. If you feel like you're walking this road alone, know that you're not. There are others who have doubted, others who have questioned, others who have cried out in the dark. You are part of a sacred story, a story of people who chose faith even when it didn't make sense, a story of people who surrendered even when it hurt, a story of people who trusted even when they couldn't see. And you are not walking alone. You are walking with grace, with love, with God. A new beginning. Faith is not the end, it's the beginning. It's the doorway to healing, to peace, to purpose. So today, let this be your beginning. Not because everything is clear, not because everything is easy, but because you are choosing to trust. Let this be the moment you say, I surrender. Let this be the moment you say, I believe. Let this be the moment you say, I'm ready. Ready to walk by faith, ready to live with trust, ready to rise with grace. A final whisper: you don't have to have it all together. You don't have to know what's next. You don't have to be fearless. You just have to be willing. Willing to trust, willing to surrender, willing to believe. Because faith isn't about perfection. It's about presence. It's about showing up. It's about saying, even here, I choose you. So take a breath, let go, lean in. A message of hope and restoration. There is a moment quiet and sacred when the soul begins to remember what it forgot, that it was made for light, that it was never meant to live in permanent shadow, that even after the storm, even after the breaking, even after the silence, hope still rises. This is that moment, not because everything is fixed, not because the pain has vanished, but because something inside you is stirring again. Something soft, something brave, something holy. Hope doesn't always arrive with trumpets. Sometimes it comes as a whisper, a flicker, a breath. Sometimes it's just the decision to try again, to believe again, to open your heart one more time. And that decision, that sacred yes, is the beginning of restoration. The nature of hope is not naive. It's not blind optimism or denial of reality. Hope sees the brokenness and chooses to believe in healing anyway. It sees the darkness and still reaches for light. It sees the loss and still dares to love. Hope is gritty, it's resilient. It's the quiet strength that keeps you breathing when everything feels heavy. It's the voice that says, don't give up. Not yet. You don't need to feel hopeful to have hope. You just need to hold space for it, to let it sit beside your grief, to let it coexist with your questions, to let it grow slowly, like a seed in winter soil. Because even buried hope is still alive. A prayer for hope. God, I don't need everything to make sense. I just need a reason to keep going. I just need a flicker of light in this long night. I bring you my weariness, my doubts, my disappointments, and I ask for one thing: hope. Not the kind that ignores pain, but the kind that walks with it. The kind that holds my hand in the dark and whispers, you're not alone. The wounds that wait for healing, there are wounds that time doesn't heal. Not because healing isn't possible, but because some wounds need more than time. They need tenderness. They need truth. They need the kind of love that doesn't flinch when things get messy. You may be carrying wounds like that. Wounds that still sting when touched. Wounds that still shape how you see yourself. Wounds that make you question your worth. But hear this, you are not your wounds. You are not your trauma. You are not your past. You are a soul in process, a heart in motion, a story still unfolding. And healing is not about erasing the pain, it's about transforming it. It's about letting it teach you, shape you, soften you. It's about letting it become part of your strength, not your shame. Restoration begins in the ruins. Restoration doesn't start when everything is perfect. It starts in the rubble, in the aftermath, in the place where you say, I don't know how to rebuild, but I'm willing to try. It begins when you stop pretending, when you stop performing, when you let yourself be seen fully, honestly, vulnerably. And in that moment, grace rushes in. Not to fix you, not to judge you, but to hold you, to remind you that you are still worthy, still loved, still chosen, even here, even now, even in this. The gentle work of restoration. Restoration is not loud. It doesn't demand attention. It moved slowly, quietly, like morning light creeping across a dark room. It's the moment you forgive yourself, the moment you speak kindly to your reflection, the moment you let someone love you without pushing them away. It's the moment you stop running from your story and start honoring it. You don't have to rush this process. You don't have to force it. You just have to stay open. Open to grace, open to healing, open to the possibility that things can be different. A new way of seeing restoration changes how you see, not just the world, but yourself. You begin to see your scars as symbols of survival, your tears as evidence of courage, your story as something sacred, that you begin to see that you are not broken. You are becoming softer, becoming wiser, becoming more whole. And that shift, that new way of seeing is part of the healing. A reminder for the weary: if you're tired, you're not failing. If you're struggling, you're not weak. If you're still healing, you're not behind. You are human. You are growing. You are doing the best you can, and that is enough. So rest when you need to. Cry when you must. Pause when it gets heavy. But don't give up, because even now, even here, hope is rising. A prayer for restoration. God, I bring you my broken pieces, not to be discarded, but to be redeemed. I bring you my story, not to be rewritten, but to be honored. I bring you my heart, not to be judged, but to be healed. Restore me, not to who I was, but to who I'm becoming. Make beauty from these ashes. Make peace from this pain. Make purpose from this path. The promise of renewal. There is a promise woven into the fabric of your soul. You were made to rise. You were made to heal. You were made to begin again. No matter how many times you've fallen, no matter how long you've been in the dark, no matter how deep the wounds go, you are not beyond restoration. There is a grace that reaches deeper than your pain, a love that sees past your shame, a light that refuses to go out, and it's reaching for you now. The light that never leaves you may feel like you've lost your way, like the light has faded, like the hope has gone quiet. But the truth is, the light never left. It's still inside you, still flickering, still waiting for you to believe again, to trust again, to open your heart again. And when you do, you'll see it was never gone, just waiting to be seen. A final whisper: you are not too far gone. You are not too broken. You are not too late. You are loved. You are held. You are being restored. So take a breath. Let the light in. Let the healing begin. This is your moment. This is your sunrise. This is your restoration. Living as a light in the world, there comes a time in the healing journey when the soul, once fractured and weary, begins to glow again, not with perfection, not with certainty, but with quiet strength, with grace, with a light that no longer flickers in fear but shines in love. This is the moment when healing becomes more than personal. It becomes purposeful. It becomes a gift you carry into the world, not as a performance, not as a sermon, but as a presence. A way of being, a way of loving. Don't have to be loud to be a light. You don't have to be flawless. You don't have to have all the answers. You just have to be real, honest, present, willing to show up with your heart open and your hands extended. Because the world doesn't need more noise, it needs more light. And you, dear soul, were made to shine. The light you carry, you may not feel radiant, you may not feel ready. But the truth is, your light isn't something you earn. It's something you already carry. It's woven into your story. It's etched into your scars. It's alive in your compassion. Your light is in the way you listen, in the way you forgive, in the way you choose kindness when bitterness would be easier. It's in the way you show up for others, in the way you speak truth with tenderness, in the way you love without needing to be loved back. This light isn't flashy. It doesn't demand attention, but it changes everything. A prayer to be a light. God, I don't want to just be healed. I want to be healing. I want to carry the light you've placed in me into the places that feel dark. Use my story. Use my scars. Use my softness. Let me be a safe place. Let me be a gentle voice. Let me be a reminder that love still lives here. Becoming a safe place to live as a light is to become a refuge. Not because you have all the answers, but because you've learned how to sit with the questions. It's to be the kind of person who doesn't rush others through their pain, who doesn't fix, but holds, who doesn't preach, but listens. It's to be someone who knows how to say, me too. Someone who knows how to say, I'm here. Someone who knows how to say, you're not alone. You don't need a platform to be a safe place. You just need presence. You just need love. You just need to remember what it felt like to be broken, and what it meant to be seen. The power of gentle presence. There is power in gentleness, in the kind of love that doesn't push, but invites, in the kind of presence that doesn't overwhelm, but comforts. Gentleness is not weakness, it's wisdom, it's strength wrapped in softness, it's truth spoken with grace. And, in a world that often shouts, your whisper of kindness can be revolutionary. So be gentle with yourself, with others, with the process, because gentleness heals what harshness cannot. Living with open hands. To live as a light is to live with open hands. Hands that give freely, hands that hold loosely, hands that bless without needing to be seen. It's to live without clinging, without grasping, without fear. It's to trust that what you give will return in ways you can't predict. That love, when poured out, never runs dry. That generosity, when rooted in grace, multiplies. So open your hands, offer your time, offer your story, offer your heart. Because you have to, but because you get to. A prayer for open-hearted living. God, teach me to live with open hands, to give without fear, to love without limits. Let me be a vessel of your grace. Let me be a reflection of your kindness. Let me be a light in the places that feel forgotten. Not for recognition, not for reward, but because you've loved me first. The ripple effect of light. Every act of love creates a ripple. Every word of encouragement, every moment of compassion, every silent prayer. You may never see the full impact. You may never know how far your light reaches. But it matters. It matters. To the person who is about to give up. It matters to the soul who needed one reason to believe again. It matters to the heart that just needed to be reminded it was worthy. So keep shining, even when it feels small, even when it feels unseen, even when it feels like no one notices. Because light doesn't need applause. It just needs to be. You are the light. You don't have to wait until you're ready. You don't have to wait until you're healed enough. You don't have to wait until you feel qualified. You are the light, now here, as you are, with your imperfections, with your questions, with your quiet courage. You are the light that someone else is praying for. You are the reminder that grace is real. You are the evidence that healing is possible. So, don't hide, don't shrink, don't dim. Shine. A new way of living. Living as a light is not about being perfect. It's about being present. It's about waking up each day and asking, how can I love today? How can I serve today? How can I reflect hope today? It's about choosing kindness over comfort, compassion over convenience, grace over judgment. It's about living with intention, with tenderness, with truth. And it's about remembering that every moment is a chance to begin again. A final whisper. You are not just here to survive. You are here to shine, to love, to heal, to restore. You are here to be a light in the world, not because you're perfect, but because you're present. So take a breath, step into the day, and let your light speak. Let it speak in your words, in your silence, in your laughter, in your tears. Let it speak in your story, in your scars, in your softness, because the world needs your light, and you were made to give it. Conclusion. The light you carry forward. If you've made it this far, pause for a moment. Let your heart feel what it needs to feel. Let your breath settle. Let your soul rest in the truth. You are not the same as when you began. Something has shifted. Something has softened. something has awakened. This journey wasn't about fixing you, it was about reminding you that healing is possible, that hope is alive, that faith still speaks, that your story, yes, yours is sacred. You are not just a receiver of light, you are a bearer of it. You carry it in your kindness, in your courage, in your quiet presence. You carry it in the way you choose love over fear, grace over shame, peace over chaos. So go gently into the world, not with pressure but with purpose, not with presence, but with presence. Let your life be a prayer. Let your words be healing. Let your silence be safe. And if this message has met you where you needed it most, don't keep it to yourself. Someone else is waiting for this light. Someone else is searching for this stillness. Subscribe to Stillness with Jesus. Leave a comment. Share your story. Let us know what part of this journey spoke to you. Send this to someone who needs a gentle reminder that they're not alone. This isn't just a channel. It's a sanctuary, a place for weary hearts to breathe again, a place for broken souls to remember their worth, a place for you. Thank you for being here. Thank you for choosing healing. Thank you for letting your light shine. Until next time, stay tender, stay true, and stay rooted in stillness. Stillness with Jesus.